racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys!
Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it till the crowd can't take no more. Then hey, since the flag came down, be here to the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hey, since the flag came down, be here to the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
The Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Darlington Raceway and the Southern 500. Round 9 of the inaugural Goodyear Cup Series season, and it's going to take place at NASCAR's oldest superspeedway. This unique 1 1/3 mile egg-shaped oval is a challenge to even the most veteran of drivers, and it's not uncommon to see drivers bouncing off the wall and getting their Darlington stripe all throughout the night. Jeff Gordon starts on pole for tonight's event. Outside of him is Sean Gossett, who has equaled his best career qualifying effort, but he'll have to start from the rear of the field in a backup car after crashing during final practice. Kyle Busch is your points leader coming into tonight's race with an average finish of 13.6 here at Darlington. He'll roll off the grid in 16th. Denny Hamlin starts tonight's race in 23rd, but keep an eye out, he leads active drivers here at Darlington with an average finish of 6.89. Pre-race ceremonies are just finishing up now, so we're ready to go trackside for the most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
How about the spotter? Gonna go 23. That was clear. That I do. I got a good enough seat to watch you win. Boy, I like 4. I was 23. 7. I like that.
And as they roll off the grid, let's take a look at our starting lineup. So Jeff Gordon sets the fastest time in qualifying. Outside of him is Sean Gossett, who officially qualifies second, but will start from the rear of the field in a backup car. Then it's Greg Biffle and Elliott Sadler. Starting fifth is Matt Kenseth. Outside of him is Kurt Busch. Then in row 4, it's Jeff Burton, and in 8th, Clint Boyer. Row 5 has Robbie Gordon on the inside. Outside of him, David Reutimann. Then in 11th, Brad Keselowski and David Reagan. 13th is Joey Logano, 14th Jamie McMurray, in row 8 it's Marcus Ambrose, and in 16th Kyle Busch. Row 9, Martin Truex Jr., outside of him Juan Pablo Montoya, and behind them Dale Earnhardt Jr. and 6-time champion Jimmy Johnson. In row 11 and 21st is Tony Stewart, in 22nd Carl Edwards, then behind them Denny Hamlin and Brian Vickers. 25th is Mark Martin, outside of him Kevin Harvick. Then in row 14 it's Bobby Labonte and Casey Kane. Finally in 29th is Ryan Newman, who scraped the wall during his qualifying run and will also go to a backup car. Newman scraped the wall coming out of turn 2. Here's final practice from yesterday as Sean Gossett hits the wall out of turn 4. Heavy damage to the front end of that car. He definitely needed the backup. Well, the lights are out on the pace car. We're ready to go racing.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time! Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Jeff Gordon leads lap 1. You can see we are already single file. Keselowski bounces off the wall and gives us our first Darlington stripe of the day. The high line is the priority here. Passing is going to be very difficult as you see Matt Kenseth trying to go around Elliott Sadler for second.
Stay on your toes. Nice, smooth, doing great.
Well, we're single file up front, but all the action is taking place close to the rear of the field here. So we've got a gaggle of cars, and Mark Martin makes it 3 wide. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Coming out of the turn, it looks like they've gotten away with it as Mark Martin goes underneath Denny Hamlin and takes away the spot. Denny Hamlin's going to try to follow past Jimmy Johnson. Back up front, Matt Kenseth has reeled in our leader, Jeff Gordon, as he makes a move to the inside. Matt Kenseth wants this lead. Sliding Kenseth in the wall, but he's going to lead that lap. We're on board with Jeff Gordon. The sun now very low on the horizon, getting right in the driver's eyes. Visibility is very difficult going into turn 3, and we've got trouble! Big wreck. Martin Truex Jr.'s in the wall. Looks like we've got 4 cars involved. Smoke just pouring from Carl Edwards' engine. Harvick manages to get his car moving, but there's just too much damage there. We're going to take a quick break and look at what happened when we get back.
I'm Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, then you.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway, where final pit stops of the day are just getting underway. Jeff Gordon pits from second. Strong car early on, but faded a bit close to the end of that green flag run. They're going to make a quick track bar adjustment and hope that fixes it. No adjustments on Matt Kenseth's car, just 4 tires, fuel, and he's away. And keep an eye out for Kyle Busch. He started this race in 16th. He is all the way up to 8th. He's had a strong car all night. We'll see if he can continue to climb. It looks like the 17 crew holds serve. Matt Kenseth wins the race off pit row. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out this caution. Look at Martin Truex Jr.'s car here in the upper left of your screen. He's going to bounce off the wall and cause a big stack up behind him. He gets turned, and at that point, there is not many places for the other drivers to go. We'll show it one more time a little slower. You can see Truex Jr. gets punted by Stewart, who gets punted by Harvick. Sean Gossett also caught a piece of that. He's got a little bit of damage to the rear of his car. The good news is that all drivers that have been involved have been checked and released from the infield care center. Matt Kenseth has chosen the outside lane for this restart. We're ready to go racing. Green flag back in the air at lap 11. And Kyle Busch makes it 3 wide. Power move. You're on board with Busch as he goes underneath Jeff Burton, taking away 5th. And Jeff Gordon now into the wall as Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch break away, and Kurt Busch makes a move on the outside for the lead. Side by side, Kurt Busch by a nose going into 3. Kenseth tucks in behind Busch. We've got a new leader. It's the 2 car, and here comes Jeff Gordon fighting back. He's going to move into second place. Does he have anything for the leader? He's going to try on the inside. Won't get it done that time. 2 laps to go. Gordon tries again. He dive bombs and slides up the track. Kurt Busch tries the crossover move. Side by side going into 3, and they touch. Gordon's in the wall. Kurt Busch slides up. It's Jeff Gordon doing the crossover this time. 1 more to go. Kenseth all the way on the bottom. Can't quite get it done. Gordon's bounced off the wall again, but as Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch fight for second, Jeff Gordon's pulling away, and he is your winner here at the Southern 500.
Yeah, you did it, man. What an awesome job, guys. You guys are awesome today, man. Never give up. What a fight. Woo!
So it's Jeff Gordon dominating at one of his best tracks. He becomes the first driver this year to win from the pole. And as Gordon celebrates, we'll take a look at the unofficial results. So Jeff Gordon becomes our first 2-time winner this year and our first winner from the pole. And how's this for parity? We've got all 4 manufacturers represented in the top 4. Jeff Gordon in a Chevy, Kurt Busch in a Dodge, Matt Kenseth in a Ford, and Kyle Busch in a Toyota. Elliott Sadler rounds out the top 5. Then it's Mark Martin, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Jeff Burton, and David Reagan. Jimmy Johnson finishes 11th. Sean Gossett started tail end Charlie in 29th. He fought all the way back to 12th. Then it's Greg Biffle, Robbie Gordon, David Reutimann, Clint Boyer, and Ryan Newman who fights back to 17th after starting in the rear. Then Joey Logano, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jamie McMurray. Finally in 21st, Marcus Ambrose, then Brian Vickers, Casey Kane, Bobby Labonte, Juan Pablo Montoya. And your DNFs, Kevin Harvick has been on a streak of bad luck. 2 DNFs in a row. Then Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, and Carl Edwards. Well, here's how your point standings stack up after 9 of 14 races. Jeff Gordon back on top, but Kyle Busch is close behind. Then almost no changes to the rest of the top 10. Greg Biffle moves up to 9th, and Kurt Busch moves into 10th. He is actually tied for 10th with Tony Stewart. Then it's Elliott Sadler, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, Sean Gossett, Martin Truex Jr., David Reutimann, Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards, and Brian Vickers rounding out your top 20. That is the area with the most jumbling around. And finally, your bottom 9, not much movement between these guys. Juan Pablo Montoya in 21st, then Joey Logano, Marcus Ambrose, Ryan Newman, Clint Boyer, David Reagan, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Burton, and Jamie McMurray. Well, we hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway, and we hope you'll join us next time as we visit the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. We'll see you then.